Hi, this is Lori Culler, owner of AgHires, here to talk about what questions your job posting should answer. First, let's talk about job posting versus a job description. So job posting is really meant to advertise, attract, give transparency to candidates looking at your position. An internal job description might have more detail, a lot more of that nitty-gritty that you might not include on a job posting. I would say if your job posting is over a page and a half, you might want to think about shortening it. If it's 2 or 3 pages, most likely you're looking at a full job description and less of like that advertising and overview. So let's think about what candidates really want to know. A lot of times we get these job postings from our clients and really it's too generic and it doesn't answer questions a candidate is really seeking. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you have that 3 or 4 sentences about the company. Compelling reasons on who you are and then why you versus another company to work with. Give them a little insight about what it would be like to work for you and what you're doing as a company. And then I always like to add what I call the elevator pitch on the role. So yes, you're going to have your responsibilities towards the bottom. You really think about giving 2 to 3 sentences that summarize your role. Example, if you were literally staying in an elevator and you had to talk about this role that you have, how would you describe it to someone? And that paragraph, typically the second paragraph of the job posting, would have that summary in there for you, just to really kind of highlight what that role looks like and includes. You're also going to want to include, if it's remote, hybrid, on-site, how much travel, what percent of travel that looks like. If there's travel, is that overnight travel or, local travel where they'd be going home every day. About half of job postings miss out on going through compensation and benefits. If you can give a range for compensation, that's great. Candidates look for that. If you're not comfortable with giving a range, at a minimum, talk about what other benefits are included with this role, and then that compensation, is competitive. And if you have a bonus, you could even say, base plus bonus with competitive salary, and then also have the benefits listed. You're also going to want to add in who would be a good fit for this role. I think clients are missing that sometimes in the fact that if you're open to backgrounds or willing to train, I usually like to spell that out. So let's say you're a farm looking to hire an operator, but you're open, so let's say construction or heavy equipment operating, you're going to want to put that in there. So open to candidates with heavy equipment operating, such as construction, military, and or farming. If you're an employer that's willing to train, you're going to want to call out that you're willing to train. So again, think about what impression we're leaving those candidates and are we answering that question so you don't miss somebody that could potentially be a great hire for you. Of course, you're going to have your responsibilities towards the bottom, but just make sure that they're impactful and not too generic. And also, kind of high level on the role. You can always go into more detail during the interview. A last little tip is also think about making sure those qualifications aren't too stringent. We hear all the time that we'll see the qualifications and we'll ask the employer, are those really necessary? And most of the time their answer is no, they're not necessary. So if you're saying things are a must-have or required qualification, candidates will tend to overread those qualifications and not apply, even though you would want them to apply. So in this tight candidate market, we don't want to rule out more candidates that would be great for you, especially again with the tight candidate market that we're in. Like and follow AgHires for more tips.